You can't stop me!
You do your research without regard to how it affects the world and people around you.
You claim to offer protection, but it comes at the expense of our freedom.
Computer pause. Advanced cybernetic memory playback to timestamp 5 minutes.
My latest secrets of the universe are like there. The void whispers to me.
Pause. Rewind. Resume playback. Voice only.
That's more than just negligence in your experiments, Fade. You destroyed an entire city.
Oh, that wasn't Fade. It was I.
Pause. I thought he was just mocking me. Is it possible there's another entity? Could Fate be correct? Computer, go back 87 seconds.
You are part of the problem, and I am the solution.
You think I'm the bad guy here? You and your foundation have hunted down magic users across the multiverse. Now, there's no one left to fight against these magical threats like the Crimson Brotherhood. No one but me!
Fade.
What?
We've got research to do. I'll put this Oculus. The eye must be opened. You are so close, Fade.
I don't need you anymore. I found a clean source of magic. Get out of my head!
You are wrong. I'm closer now to this realm than ever before. The eye must be opened. Going to the end has drawn me near. Open the book and take a second look.
There's nothing left. I'll not pollute my mind any further.
No, there is more. Unlock it and bring these creatures to heel.
I've gone as far as the old writings can take me, so now the research is my own. I'll dedicate this section of Thaumcraft to any miscellaneous discoveries that I make. Who knows what I might come up with. More dark temptations from the suit of armor. It's me, it's Fate, I'm in charge. Further aromancy studies. I've already discovered quite a few elemental foci effects, but I feel there is much more to discover. There are so many aspects of Essentia I have not yet experimented with that I am bound to find something useful. Maybe we can upgrade our caster's gauntlet. And I believe we have more than one of these, don't we? Yes. Let's see if we can give our gauntlet an upgrade. Iron is a very poor V conductor. It gets the job done, but now I've discovered thaumium should be a simple task to upgrade my old caster's gauntlet prototype to a much more effective one than before. I've been making modifications. I might as well investigate enchanted fabrics useful as replacement for leather. Let's upgrade. I have successfully created a new casting gauntlet, which I am calling the Thaumium Caster's Gauntlet. The introduction of thaumium allows a caster to be more efficient, about 10% more, than the usage of V, in addition to slightly reducing the cooldown between casts. It seems like the enchanted fabric takes very well to dyes. You know, I was thinking, why stop at the Thaumium Caster Gauntlet when I have access to Void Metal? I'm not stopping at Thaumium, I'm taking it all the way to Void Metal. While the Thaumium Casting Gauntlet was certainly a success, I can't help but wonder if Void Metal is as an effective V conductor as Thaumium is. Even if it isn't, I have trouble believing its morphic properties won't have some benefit. Our results so far have been surprisingly disappointing. I've seen a small reduction in the V cost of casting, but not enough to outweigh its Thaumium's faster recharge abilities. Perhaps I've been looking at the wrong component to improve. Yes, the Void Sears Pearl. We look into the void. Let's take a look at that pearl. Right. Now, we are in the mood to study. Yes. Voices are much clearer now. So keep the warp ward up, this should be fine. This should be fine. perfectly fine. Okay. Simply having a Void Sears Pearl does not seem to be cutting it here. I'll need to create a new one from scratch. Pay attention to how it's made. Maybe then I can figure out ways how I can enhance it with my newfound knowledge. Now that I'm creating my own research rather than following in the footsteps of others, my own original work. I need some diamonds. I need some gold. We should switch to our other gear. While we do this. We're not working with V, we don't need to be wearing the void metal armor. We're outside. Grinning Devil will protect our mind. At least a little bit. Okay. Begin! Yes! Yes! Perfect. Let's get inside where we're safe. Now that I've crafted one. Perfect. Now that I have dissected and taken a look at it. Good thing I'm warded. It seems my previous conjecture has proven to be correct. Upon replacing the V resonator with a Void Sears Pearl, the gauntlet felt much more connected to the surrounding aura. So connected, in fact, I not only measured a 30% discount over my original prototype, but it also absorbs V over a much wider area. This will mean I can cast very complex foci without depleting the local aura nearly as much as before. It seems that while the cooldown time of this gauntlet is still better than the original caster, the Thaumic Gauntlet will still be superior in this regard. I'll have to decide which trait, V usage or cooldown time, I find more valuable. For spells that we cast that are utilitarian in nature, I think we can use the Thaumic Gauntlet, or rather the Void Seer one, because we don't care much about cooldown time when we're not in combat, but when we're fighting, I don't care about the aura. I want to cast spells quickly. So, we'll make both. Let's give this an upgrade. Let's do it quickly. Vulnerable out here. And let's use our newest gauntlet. Yes. Black as night. Let's do a little experimentation in science here. So this is the original caster's gauntlet. Okay, that's how fast we can do that. This here is our Rift 1, so it should be a little bit faster. The next step in quickness, which is actually pretty quick. I am liking this. And now if we try the Thaumium, that should be the fastest one. Costs a little bit more V-wise, but it'll be faster. And oh yeah. Okay, I like that. So I think if we're traveling, we use this. If we're at home, we use the Void one. For all the magic we do, we have very little control over our enchants. I think it's about time that we remedied that. So we have this room here where we store all the mana, we have lots of space, and I think this would be a grand location for us to put our mana enchanter. This is going to make our life a whole lot easier when it comes to enchantments. So we'll carve out this area here and I'll tell you about it. Let's carve this out. Now what's nice about this is, this will allow us to choose exactly what enchants go on our items, and it won't use up the books. Instead, we can just shoot mana through the books, and it will enchant our items, and we get the books back. So we'll be able to make custom armors for any situation. We're fighting underwater, we can make an armor for that. We're fighting in the Nether, we can make an armor for that. We're gonna be like Iron Man. We're gonna have armor for every situation. Ditto with our weapons. It's gonna be a good time. There will be no scenario which we are not prepared. Okay, we can make this look a little bit nice here. I don't like just bare dirt just showing, so we got this infinity pool here. We'll just drop those in there and turn those into vivid grass. And we can make these look nice. We'll get these mana pylons created here, so that way we have a way of getting mana into our system here. Got plenty of materials, so this is no problem. Let's plop these on top of these flowers here on the outsides. Oh man, these look so good. I love being a magician. Nice. Now we just click on this cube here, and that should transform it into the enchanter. Ooh, that sounded sweet. I've been inspired. We got all sorts of pedestals and displays and magical armor and weapons to show. I want to make this enchanting station something special here. I've really been inspired by the Chamber and Iron Man series, where he just has all those armors just kind of everywhere, and I want something like that for our enchanting room. So we got these really nice pedestals that we've been using for our mana infuser for Thaumcraft, and I think that those will look sweet inside our enchanting room. We can put swords on there and anything else. Yeah. Look at these. Don't those look good? Ooh. Not Iron Man. Stephen Strange. I can make something, the Sanctum Sanctorum. Yes, look, we got these plinths here. We can put items inside these sword holders. We got, oh yeah. Oh, we can make this grand. That's what I want. And there. It's a start. I'm getting sidetracked. Let's see what this mana enchanter can do. Ah yes, bubbling cauldrons and books at home here. We've done this before. So I've taken some weapons that we've gotten out of our mob spawner, and they got enchants on them. So we're going to go ahead and draw those out using Thaumcraft. Let them soak inside this blood cauldron for a moment with our book, and that will draw the enchantment onto the book. This is going to be wonderful synergy with our mana enchanter. We also have a tome from Britannia, or rather from Corkin here, knockback 2, which means it's going to be possible for us to get knockback 3 on our sword. I feel like I'm in a candy store. Let's see what we got from our selections here. So we definitely want Vorpal 3, knockback 3, soulbound, leech, insight. And breaking, we'll want that, and sharpness 5. This is going to be 7. Oh boy. And we got knockback 3 because of the tome. Let's see if the enchanter can handle that. Let's take off the magnet ring. So we'll be able to do this and get all these books back. It's going to be expensive for mana, but we don't care because mana is infinite for us now. Awesome. We want to hear 7 tones. It detected all of them. Oh yeah, look at that. Didn't. Okay. We got all the books back. So we can remake the sword whenever we need. Let's see what is a hefty mana cost, but it's going to be worth it, because we can just leave the mana thing on. Woo! That's what I call a knife. Oh dear. And even worse, because we can... Now that we have this awesome sword, I need to test it. I know just the thing. Need a test dummy. Some wheat and some planks. A little bit of wood, some straw. We can make ourselves a nice little crash test dummy here. Perfect. And I think that will go nicely upstairs, since that's where we're going to make all of our weaponry. And we'll just plop him right here. Nice. Now let's just see if we smack him one. 5 damage. I wonder if this will... Okay, so we're doing 5 per hit. What if we... critical? 6.75. And then our ranged attacks are 3.5. 35! I'm thinking that must be the Vorpal kicking in. 3.5, 3.5. There's the 35 right there. Awesome. Does that happen with 50? Yowza. Okay. So those Vorpal hits hit hard. Range does less damage, but it still hits for a lot when it Vorpals. As opposed to the bow. Consistently more damage. But doesn't have the chance to get Vorpal on it. Also, we could probably make this better now too. Awesome! Well, that's quite good. One last area I'd like to touch upon, and that's rift studies. Flux rifts always occur at the most inconvenient times and at the most inconvenient location. And during those times where I want them, I have to dump Essentia willy-nilly just into the aura and hope one appears. I think I can refine this. I think there's more to be found with flux rifts. Much more important to my studies than they may seem at first. When they are created from XX of flux that open and connect to the void, I'm sure they contain a secret opening rifts to places that are more hospitable. However, studying flux rifts currently requires me to saturate the aura with flux. It might be beneficial to contain all the flux I need into a small seed that can be released to the target area rather than having to resort to messy alternatives. I should look into ways to compress a large amount of flux into a small space. Let's take a look at this void seed, because that's the closest thing we've got to a seed so far. We have several. Let's look at this. By concentrating a large amount of victim essentia into a void seed, the flux created will shortly be absorbed into the aura, and almost certainly create a rift. I should be very careful with these flux seeds. Planting them will instantly release all of its contained flux, consuming the seed. It seems that limiting the essentia in the seed to strictly victim allows for more flux to be created per unit of essentia than just dumping it into the aura. If I want to take advantage of this to create larger rifts, I should be able to infuse even more victim into the smaller flux seed. However, not only does the instability of the infusion increase with the amount of victim added, but I only seem to be able to safely use this process once on any given flux seed. There! There it is, a flux seed. I think we can actually enhance this. Well, you know what, let's just see what this first one does. We'll start with the smallest because it's probably the safest. And I think we can use this to make it insta-rift, and it should be bigger than normal. So now if we take this seed, the question is, will this just generate another rift? Or is this simply a more refined way of releasing flux to an area where we might want a rift? Okay, I'm gonna put a rift right here, if that's what it lets me do. So we'll put this in our offhand. We have 80. This says 100, so this should release 100 into the aura. So my guess is if I pop this here, it probably won't make another one. It'll probably just get absorbed into this, right? So let's try it. Okay, all that did was make a lot more flux. Means this is going to absorb it and get huge. It's already growing. Okay, well, ooh. Okay. Well, we'll just... That's probably fine. Let's just go back home. Ooh, I'm glad I'm not that village that lives nearby. Oh boy. Alright everyone, we're going to call that an episode for today. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like button. If you really enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Check out Sassy Rogue on her side channel, and I will see you in the next episode of Thaumcraft, The Forbidden Arts. See you later everybody. Bye-bye.
Subscribe.